Hey, this is James Supercave, and we are here with We Found New Music at Dash Radio with Grant Owens.
Psych pop group James Supercave joins me now on We Found New Music. Their debut album, Better Strange, is out now. They just wrapped up a U.S. tour with Wild Bell, and they're playing July 22nd in San Francisco at Rick Shaw. James Supercave, welcome to We Found New Music, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. We got Patrick over here.
Yep.
We got Joaquin here and Andres.
Hey, man.
Correct? All right. Welcome to Dash Radio. So your new album is Better Strange. You've been playing all over town. You just played Make Music Pasadena, which is really killer. That was a great set. Why don't you talk a little bit about how you guys got started as a band, how you guys met?
Well, we weren't a band when we met, but Joaquin and I went to college together, and we noodled for a while, sort of like, I wrote this, and then years later, he had a collection of songs that we're like, this is worth doubling down on.
Mm-hmm.
Making a band about.
Yeah, and
And
then
then we let that band fall apart.
Yep.
And then got
turns out the
together,
songs
you know.
weren't that good. No, they were good songs.
That was
but
your preliminary
Yeah.
band.
and then
Yeah, then we just then we met Andy and we kind of reformed and deformed and until James Supercave came together. And I guess this has been solid for more than 3 years now.
Right on. And then you guys released your first EP last year, and Jason Bentley played one of your demos.
Yeah. It was pretty funny because the demo that he got a hold of just had gobbledygook lyrics, basically. You know, often when you're writing, you're just kind of laying down a melody without any words. So it's just like shit, yeah, if us don't get, and it's just like incomprehensible.
Right.
But apparently it was.
How did you get a hold of that demo?
Our manager had like shared a handful of tunes with him, but he just kind of took to one. We didn't have much say over it.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
That song didn't even come out on the EP from last year. That came out on this year's LP. And
on
I think actually
Better Strange.
last week he played the demo again.
Really?
I think he just prefers it.
It's in his top songs ever. So he just pulls out of it. That's really cool.
He prefers Walk's fake French
Amazing
syllables to the.
I'd love to hear that sometime. Cool. And then you guys had the opportunity to open for a lot of cool bands through the EP and then through some airplay. You played open for Jungle and Future Islands. You know, what was that like? Just suddenly playing with all those great bands.
The Future Island show was pretty interesting. Their keyboardist, his entire rig is kind of dependent on soft sense through a computer, and the computer crashed. And so before the show, he was like scrambling to get something together, and Pat had to loan him 2 synths. So he played. I think we hooked him up with essentially a Rhodes sound and a flute sound, or a string sound maybe, and he had to recreate all of the very specific tones that Future Islands goes for with just those instruments.
And how did
So
that
it was kind of it was a special show
because that guy represents everything that's not rhythm section and vocals. So he was really bummed. I mean, like there was sort of like a mixture of like just sadness and panic in his eyes, and he was like, "Just give me 2 sounds, just 2 sounds." And I hooked him up with like a flute sound, like he said, a Rhodes sound, and he just kind of sighed and looked over at their singer and then just kind of started doing it.
Wow.
But it was an awesome show.
This was here in LA?
No, I was in Marfa.
Oh, okay.
Marfa, Texas.
Nice. Let's talk about a couple of the videos on your full length, which is Better Strange. First, let's talk about the video for the album Better Strange. Yeah.
Title track. Yeah.
So title track Better Strange. It's funny because we had just finished making a video for The Right Thing, which was kind of this somewhat exhausting, very ambitious process where we just kind of kept shooting. And my girlfriend actually ripped an animation offline. It was a 7-minute short film by this UK animator Sophie Cocogate, and she re-edited it to the song, and she showed it to me late night after we had just finished playing a show, and I was kind of out of my mind, and I couldn't tell if I was just losing it or if it was really good. And anyway, I was in ecstasy because it was a done video and it took no effort. So anyway, we reached out to Sophie, the animator, and she was into it and actually re-edited a little sequence for us, reanimated a sequence for us, and that's the result. Came together like that.
Cool.
Mashup.
Check it out. And then the video we have displaying up here on the monitor today for Burn. This is very unique. We have some nudity in there.
Yeah. With this one, we kind of jumped off the cliff with this director Alex Sutra, and he's this awesome guy. Has a very strong visual aesthetic, French dude living in LA, and I think one of the things that we wanted to do was create a happening, and there's a lot of nudity in this video. There was this part of the shooting process. We got a bunch of friends to come into a room and put on these mirrored masks that had been assembled, and we all kind of danced to a slowed down version of the song.
But you couldn't see out of the masks, was part of the thing. So there was definitely an element of, I have no idea what that looks like. You know,
Yeah,
And you know you're in a room surrounded by naked people dancing, but you can't see it happening.
So everyone had
it was a real
radius.
trip.
pretty erotic.
You know, there was like a radius. You know, you knew you could move roughly 2 feet in any direction, and beyond that, you were going to be touching someone somewhere. You know.
Wow. All right.
So yeah, it was. I think a happening
Happened.
It's happening.
And you can check out the result.
There you go. Yeah, check it out on their YouTube. So after all those cool songs in support of your EP, you released your full length this year, Better Strange, and you worked with Gus Seifert.
Yeah, we had worked with Gus on the EP actually. We co-produced it with him, and then a number of songs on Better Strange as well. But yeah, like Andy was saying a second ago.
Yeah,
I might have to say that again.
Ooh, he's great.
Yeah.
yeah. His specialty is sort of not in a bad way, but it's sort of like retro sounds. He gets like really crisp. But what we ended up walking away with audio wise more than anything was drum tones, bass tones, and guitar tones. Just classic rock instruments. He sort of crushes, you know.
Yeah, so you guys see eye to eye on a lot of things then, and just kind of, it seems like you honed in on your sound quite a bit.
I mean, when you're grabbing tones at Gus's place, it's you kind of bow down to what he's doing, because it's just such. The tones are so much better than anything that you could get at home, but you do have to have, you do have to want a dry, tight, punchy drum sound and a bass that sounds kind of Beatlesy in a way.
It also feels pretty true to your live sound too. I feel like you're able to deliver that same sound live.
Kind of set the bar, Recordings always set the bar for the tones that you end up being able to produce live. But yeah, we're working on it.
Right on. And speaking of live shows, you just toured the nation with Wild Bell for your LP tour. How did that go? And it looks like you guys had a lot of sold out shows.
So dreamy.
Yeah.
So dreamy.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. They're fantastic. Really good people. Such a fun show to watch. I think I was watching it every night.
Did you guys travel in a van together, just bonded throughout the nation?
We weren't. There was a lot of interband love, but we had separate vehicles.
Okay.
In a lot of ways, it was a kind of brutal tour. It was sort of routed as if we had these professional bus drivers to take us overnight, you know? But we didn't. So it would be, you'd play and then you'd drive for 12 hours, or you'd drive for 16 hours, and then you play again. And I was shocked that both Joaquin and Natalie Bergman from Wild Bell, the two lead singers, never lost their voice. It was just like smooth and good, and yeah,
impressive.
Yeah, it was a good run.
Yeah. It's kind of like South by Southwest. I'm always surprised when people don't lose their voice.
Yeah,
so you guys obviously know what you're doing.
Yeah,
conserving your voice.
If you have to do 3 shows or more in a day, that's kind of my limit, honestly.
Pretty brutal. And then you have to do it again the next day 2 more times or something.
Yeah.
That's cool. Congratulations on a successful tour, guys, and you got the full length out. Shows coming up.
San Francisco, July 22nd. We're doing something at the Rickshaw. It's one of those pop scene events. It's I think it's the brainchild of a DJ up there at a radio station, Live 105, Aaron Axelson.
Axelson,
yeah.
And then a West Coast run is in the works,
Nice.
early August. So we'll be looking at that, and then hoping to land a few other things. Probably too early to talk about for the end of the year.
Yeah. Sounds good, man. Well, we wish you guys the best, and thank you guys so much for coming in today. We'll have to bring you back in the studio for a live session next time.
Yeah.
And again, the album is Better Strange. We will continue to spin it here on We Found New Music on Sunday nights. And stay close, and we'll hang again.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks again, guys. We Found New Music. We just had James Supercave in the studio.